What's up, Cardinal fans? I'm Brad,
And I'm Aaron.
and you're listening to Musial Suspects. I think we have found the key to any good podcast.
Awesomeness.
Good intro music.
Yes, I agree.
All right, guys, what is going on? I am Brad. This is Aaron. We're back with our, I don't even know what episode this is. Sixth?
I believe so.
Sixth
I'm gonna
episode of
roll
the
with that.
Yeah, we're just going to say that, and then, if that's not what it
we're
says.
gonna check later and see where we're at.
If that's not what it says in the YouTube things, the YouTube description will be more accurate. I'm just going off my memory. It's been a long break. I've had a long week last week. Had some family issues I had to take care of, so I apologize to all 15 of you who are subscribed to our podcast. Yeah. Shout out to you guys. Talked to a couple of the guys that are subscribed, said they really liked it. Being a teacher and stuff, we hit up the graduation parties whenever they do it, and more than one kid has said they really like the podcast. Actually, we played softball against one of them last week.
Oh, did we?
Yep.
Nice.
So you know who you are, who we played softball against, and the one that I saw at the graduation party, you know who you are. So thank you for the shout out. Thank you for the vote of confidence. We do appreciate that. So with that being said, I'm going to kick it over to Aaron so he can hit the social media plugs.
Yep. So if you guys want to follow us on social media, on Twitter, we are at Suspects Musial, and then my Twitter is at Aaron Arch City. So go check us out on there. We follow you back just because we want you guys to be really up to date with all of our stuff. So feel free to check us out on there, and then check us out on Facebook too. Just search the Musial Suspects, and we pop up rather quickly. And then same thing on YouTube. Find us on YouTube at Musial Suspects. Make sure you change it in your search description, because otherwise it's going to try to change it to the Musical Suspects, and that is not us.
No.
We're not very musical right now.
And I feel like even though they've been around longer, that's just a cheap knockoff of our name.
Yeah, it's definitely what we're trying to do. So yeah, check us out on there. And then SoundCloud, we're getting stuff figured out on there. But if you want to keep up to date with us on there for right now, once we get everything taken care of, we'll have our newer episodes on there as well. And then that way you'll be able to find us on iTunes as well. Just search the Musial Suspects, and check us out.
Yep. All right, so what were we going to start off with? I forgot.
Oh, we're going into the turn 2
we're
going to
go turn 2 right now.
Yep.
You are hungry for some turn 2.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so the turn 2, first play, the play at second. I am calling you out, Anthony Rizzo.
This was literally the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Well, it's not the dumbest thing I've ever seen, but I will say this. It was the dirtiest play I've ever seen.
No, I'll say it's dumb because clearly you should know the rule by now.
Well, that's true.
They didn't change it like last week and go, oh, by the way, you're not allowed to go out of your path to make contact with the catcher. No, they changed it 4 years ago.
Okay, and for those of you who are wondering what we're talking about, if you haven't seen it, maybe I can get a link in the description to a video or something.
Yeah, we should be able to link it.
But the thing is, and don't mind that, that's just my dog. He doesn't like Anthony Rizzo either. My dog is a Cardinals fan through and through. Aren't you, Poe?
Good talk.
Yeah, good dog. All right, he just looked at me like you know it. So here's the deal. It was against the Pirates, and what's the catcher's name?
Good
I know
question.
It was Diaz, but I don't remember his first name.
I don't remember either. I honestly didn't even know
after
that
I
he
saw
played
the
for
slide.
the Pirates.
After I saw the slide, all I saw was red.
Yeah.
All right. So here's the deal. I believe the situation was the bases were loaded. All right, and the batter with Rizzo on third, the batter hits a ground ball. The initial play comes home. Diaz catches the ball, steps on home plate, and then steps probably a good 4 or 5 feet.
Yeah,
I mean, he wasn't quite out of the dirt.
Yeah, but he was out of the way of the plate by
it wasn't
large
even
margin, so he can make the throw to first base.
Right, so he steps up to make the throw to first base. About the time he's going to throw the ball to first base, Rizzo comes in with the dirtiest slide I've seen since Ty Cobb, and I haven't even seen Ty Cobb make a slide. I just know that he used to sharpen his cleats so he could cut people open. And he comes in, all right, and so it's like, okay, yeah, you do have to be within reach of the plate, but it's very clearly...
Who slides like that?
No, yeah. So he slides in, he reaches... So if you can picture in your mind, his entire body in fair territory with his fingertips barely scraping home plate, and he kicks the leg out of out from
Oh
underneath
yeah,
Diaz
both
as
of his
Diaz is
legs,
throwing the ball.
both of his legs were like spread outward, and I don't know if any time I've slid with my feet like that.
I
My
have never.
feet go towards the base.
Well, whenever I slide, if my feet are away, I'm trying to avoid a tag.
But why are you sliding? You are out by so much.
Right.
At no point should you even be sliding for that play. If you were like maybe 1 or 2 steps away, like Dick, you genuinely thought you could beat it, that's one thing. But you were clearly out.
Well,
Like I want to see the replay because I bet you by the time the catcher caught it, that Rizzo had
here's the
not
deal.
even tried sliding yet.
Here's the deal. The catcher had caught the ball come off of home plate after having been standing on it when catching the ball. Comes off of home plate a good 4 feet to make the throw so he can throw to the inside of the baseline as to not interfere with the runner. And about that time is when Rizzo hit him. So he was mid-throw when Rizzo hit him and took his legs out from underneath him. Now, I get what Rizzo's getting at as far as I'm trying to break up a double play, blah, blah, blah. You do
But
not
that's
put
not the
somebody's
rule.
career on the line for that.
Yeah, but the rule says that you're not allowed to come out of the way, like come out of your path to make contact, and that's clearly what he did.
That's exactly what he initiated contact with the fielder.
And what I posted this on Twitter, so if you follow me on Twitter, you've probably seen this rant already. Like I watched the replay. The thing that pisses me off the most about it was that the announcers were like, "Oh, that's totally illegal slide." Like, no, it's not.
Oh,
It is
yes.
not a legal slide.
I know what you're
At
talking
no point was that a legal slide. Look up the rule. That's not the rule. That's
Well,
not a legal
here's-
slide. But they were totally trying to
here's-
defend him like
here's-
it
yeah,
was,
here's the
and
thing,
it
but-
wasn't.
But it was a Cubs broadcast. It was a
Of
Cubs
course it
announcement. I
was.
would expect that to be the case.
Yeah.
But even they knew they were full of crap. You could hear it in their voices. So if you get a chance,
that's totally legal. Like,
we'll try
no,
to-
it's not.
We'll try to put this in the description so you can see it. Leave your comment below. Let us know what you think, whether or not this is a legit slide or this is a dirty play. At the end of the day, I believe Diaz got injured. I don't know how long he's out for.
I haven't really read up on that either.
If I'm Clint Hurdle, I am livid. But in the Pirates' defense, Major League Baseball did come out afterwards and call it an illegal slide.
Which, I mean, doesn't really change anything, but at least they managed to do it then instead of, at the game when it matters.
Here's the deal, Major League Baseball. Put your money where your mouth is. If you believe that was an illegal slide and Diaz is injured, Rizzo should be fined.
Yeah, do something.
End of the
for
story.
crying out loud.
Don't just call it, nope, shame on you, and then shake your finger at him. Do something about it, all right?
It's not the first time they've messed up on this rule. Like, you change the rule, and then you're going to, split hairs about it. It's not that hard to check the replay and know that that was definitely an illegal slide. First off, no one slides like that. If you slide like that, you're stupid. Stop sliding like that. Slide like a normal individual. You can either slide head first, or you can slide feet first. It's not like you're trying to avoid a tag. It was a forced play. So the fact that you went out of your way and had your legs like that, it's so stupid. It's ridiculously uncalled for. If you can't tell, I'm really pissed off about this.
I'm aggravated about it too. And here's the other thing too that it just gets under my skin. So if Major League Baseball does not fine Anthony Rizzo, it's just a symptom of a deeper problem. So here's something that I noticed, and I don't know if you noticed it or not, in the Cardinals-Phillies series, they do not enforce their batter's box rules at all. So what was the guy's name? The guy who had the real long streak. He's center fielder for Phillies. Herrera, yeah. It took Herrera, I would say, a good 40 seconds in between each at bat to get back in to take, or between each pitch to get back in to take.
Isn't there
pitch.
some pitch clock?
Well, there's a pitch clock, but that's on the pitcher, not on the hitter.
Yeah.
But when the hitter steps into the batter's box, 1 foot in is in. He is then to stay in the batter's box. He's not allowed to back out again.
Yeah. If you get out of the batter's box between pitches,
so
as soon as you put a foot in, you're in. You can't just back out.
When Herrera puts his foot in to scrape where he wants to put his foot, which is legit, you keep 1 foot out, it's still timeout. But when you put your foot in there, your right foot or your opposite foot has to come into the box, and you are in the box now. So you can't scrape your spot and then step back out, take 2 swings, adjust your gloves, adjust your cup, shave your beard, brush your teeth, put in a new wad of chew and whatever else he was doing over there. Oh, my gosh. You want to speed up the game? Take care of that nonsense. So put your money where your mouth is, Major League Baseball. I want to see some action. I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of you guys saying we want a faster game and not do anything about it. And if you want to make it a safer game, enforce your rules. Fine Rizzo. How about this one, too? And I'm going to go way back here, Major League Baseball. Why didn't you fine the manager of the Arizona Diamondbacks for his lewd and rude comments toward Yadier Molina?
Yeah.
I know why. Because you're chickens.
It's kind of funny how how often I've seen stuff, either ESPN or Major League Baseball. Like, I don't know why, but it seems like they've just got it in for the Cardinals. Like,
Yeah, it's
like
not that.
during the series today, like I get you're in Milwaukee, but like that was clearly not caring that the Cardinals were there. But then on the same end, like that Cubs series when they were in Busch Stadium, all they talked about were the Cubs.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely. Well, you know what though,
I don't understand
I expect that from the media because the Cubs are the media national media darlings.
for some reason.
And I'll tell you a real story, real true story. This has been probably 3 or 4 years ago. Do you guys? It would have been when Joe Kelly and Alan Craig were traded to Boston.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how long ago it was. So it might be 4 or 5 years ago, even.
Yeah, a little
Anyway,
bit.
it was Joe Kelly's first game back, and he was starting against the Cardinals. And if I remember correctly, he pitched a really good game, which, ugh. But anyway, I was at that game. The guy in front of me was from Boston. And this is also at the very beginning of Matt Carpenter's career. So they had moved Matt Carpenter to second base. This was it was the first year that they did that, and this guy had not even heard of Matt Carpenter. He's like, you hear a little bit about him and stuff like that. Is he really that good? The guy's asking me because we don't hear anything about this guy on the East Coast. It's like,
Sure.
yeah, he was. I mean, I know he's not, and we'll get to this later. I mean, he's on the upswing, but
Yeah,
he hasn't
he's
had a
getting
great
it.
year this year. But this was his 300. Batting upper twos, low threes, batting average.
Yeah.
They put him at second base so they could get him in the lineup. That kind of season that he was having, and this guy had never even heard of him. And he's like, "Is he legit?" Absolutely, he is legit. So that just kind of goes to show you we live in flyover country.
Pretty much.
I know it's not a political thing. It's not a political podcast, but in the middle of America is flyover country, and the people on the coast don't care about us.
Yeah.
So we make noise whenever we have a World Series. The Cardinals, I believe it was the Cardinals-Tigers World Series, was one of the lowest viewed World Series.
I can see that.
Because nobody cares whether or not the Cardinals are in the World Series. Nobody cares whether or not Detroit Tigers are in the World Series. Nobody's going to watch that because no love from the ESPNs. But I'm not a big fan of ESPN right now, so.
Yeah.
The other thing is,
I just use them for fantasy baseball.
I don't even do that. I don't even play fantasy. I've tried playing fantasy baseball. I did fantasy football for a long time, but whenever I lost my football team, I now no longer play fantasy football.
Hello.
So here's the deal. Fantasy baseball takes up way too much of your time. I was not ready.
I have not adjusted my lineup since like the first week.
Right, nor have I ever had the desire to adjust my lineup so regularly. But anyway, that being said, the second part of the turn two goes and plays right hand in hand in this. So, what was that article from?
It's from MLB.com.
Okay, MLB.com released an article predicting.
Yeah, it said these players could be Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year
And
favorites.
so, I'll go into the American League for just part of it. In the American League, Shohei Ohtani is number one, shocker. Then you've got Gleyber Torres from the Yankees. I don't know who that is. Miguel Angelar from the Yankees. Again, never really heard of you. But then the National League, this is what's been hilarious so far. Number one, you've got Walker Buehler for the Dodgers. I've never heard of him, but through 7 starts, he has a 3-1 record with a 2.2 ERA, a .9 WHIP, and a 5.3 strikeout to walk ratio.
Well, good for him.
And then you've got Ronald Acuna Jr. for the Braves, and he was the guy that was running to first and destroyed his knee, but apparently didn't have any damage to it.
Yeah, he
which
just
is shocking.
sprained it. I wish because my knees made
just
that,
from looking at it, I was like, "Yep, he's out."
My knee has made that that shape before, and if you haven't seen it, go ahead and look it up. My knee has made that gone in that direction before, and that resulted in knee surgery for me.
Yeah.
So, good grief, I don't know how his knee's not in pieces. But anyway, go ahead.
So, and then third for the National League, it's Christian Villanueva. Cool.
Okay.
But then,
so they gave it the top three.
Yeah,
for
they gave
each
the
league?
top three for each,
All right.
and then it shows others receiving votes underneath it, and you've got 3 Cardinals and the others receiving votes. You could argue that at least 2 of these guys should be pushing for the top 3, simply because it makes sense. So the first one they mentioned is Jordan Hicks, and there shouldn't be too much I have to say about Jordan Hicks. Everyone talks about how he wasn't striking guys out. Well, check his last couple games. He started striking guys out. Are you happy now?
Here's
Probably
the thing.
not.
Here's the thing. I've got one argument.
He's a reliever
105 miles an hour.
twice
Right.
in the same at bat.
Yeah.
He threw the 5 fastest pitches in the major leagues this season. Again, in one at bat. One at bat, guys. It's ridiculous. He's pretty much the real deal for the most part.
Yeah,
And then-
he's pretty much the real deal.
Yeah, he's pretty legit. And then they say Jack Flaherty, which you should.
Right.
Because-
Flaherty's had himself a year.
Like, if you want to split hairs, the first one on the list was Walker Buehler, and I told you his stats. Jack Flaherty's not very far off from that.
Well, here's
Through the same amount of starts.
would
I
you-
don't understand why you've got this Dodgers guy. Oh wait, it's because he's on the West Coast.
The West Coast, yeah. He's a Los Angeles player. Here's the thing, and what happened? It was the year I believe Wainwright and Carpenter were having 2 great years, and when it came to Cy Young,
Yeah, Lincecum won.
yeah, Lincecum won because Carpenter and Wainwright's years were so good that they had to split. They split the Cy Young vote and therefore gave Lincecum the win because somebody
Yeah.
thought it would be a good idea to vote for Lincecum. It
I
was
mean,
somebody.
he had a decent year, but he didn't have a better year than Wainwright or Carpenter.
Well, if I remember correctly, too, with Lincecum, they let a guy vote who wasn't even a National League sports writer, and he's like, "Well, it's Tim Lincecum because I heard the name before."
Yeah.
Ay. All right. So anyway,
Well, I'm just gonna. And the other one on the list was Harrison Bader. And if he gets enough playing time, I can see him maybe getting some
Yeah.
votes. But I don't necessarily see him winning unless they play him every day. And right now, he's playing pretty often, but not every day. But here's the difference between Walker Buehler and Jack Flaherty. It's not much. So the only thing Buehler really has to his credit over Flaherty is that he has 2 more starts. But he's 3-1, 2.2 ERA in 41 innings, and he struck out 48 through 41 innings. Cool. Flaherty is 2-1 with a 2.15 ERA in 5 starts, 29 innings, 31 strikeouts.
wow.
They both have the same WAR.
So
They both have a 1.1 WAR. They're basically the same, but yet you've got this West Coast guy going, "Oh, he's going to win Rookie of the Year," and you've got Flaherty receiving votes.
Here's my thoughts too. If you're receiving votes and you've got 3 players on the Cardinals team who could be receiving votes, because those are the guys who were also receiving votes, it's possible that it could be the split thing.
Yeah,
but
it could
but
be.
there's also the coastal bias too.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't help that at some point they're going to send Flaherty down, and he's going to end up having to make starts in Memphis. He's not going to have a full season, and it looks like this Buehler kid's probably going to actually get starts for
Well,
for Los Angeles.
They've got nobody else around them out there in LA. They're not having a great year.
Yeah. I mean, you got Kershaw, and he's going to give you something,
Or it's
and then
sort
you
of-
got Alex Wood, and that's about it.
Yeah, but who's going to push him out of his rotation spot?
Probably not.
Because
anyone.
we got Martinez coming back. Everybody's all hyped up about Reyes, which Reyes pitched today.
Yeah, and he was fine.
So that was our turn 2.
Ooh.
We're still looking for a good sound effect for the turn 2 thing.
Yeah, we're
Hey,
figuring it out.
If you guys know of anything, post it in the comments. Send us a link or something because we would love some sort of major league. Let's turn 2 play. Not a double play thing, but something about turn 2. If you got it, or if you are of that persuasion and you can make something up, we would be more than happy to feature it and give you all the credit in the world to all 15 of our listeners.
Woo.
Hey, but that number's been trending up. So
Yeah.
if it was 15 last time, I think it might have been 16 actually last time I checked. But
Mhm.
anyway, that number's trending up, which slowly but surely we're growing our brand. That sounds so weird to say. All right, Aaron, let's go ahead and recap this Brewers series.
Yeah.
Now, I know that we didn't have a podcast last week because of the issues, and we just, whatever it was, it didn't work out. But the thing is I had sent you a text, and I had said, we need to curb stomp the Brewers, basically.
Yep.
And
They curb stomped
yes,
us.
they sure did.
That's so
Which
weird.
I'm not surprised. And you know what? Today I was even happy. I was looking. I was like, oh, all right. I went to Six Flags today, and so I could only check the updates on my phone. Also, today is one of those stupid Facebook Live things.
I was fine with it being on Facebook, only because I was nowhere near a television. And I have unlimited data.
You know what? If you
so-
want people to watch it on Facebook, that's fine. Don't stop the other broadcasts from happening. Because here's the other thing too. Those announcers are.
They were okay. You had Jason Mott up there today talking about the Cardinals. That was nice. I didn't hear him talking a whole lot, but
no, and I don't know what. Kiss my butt. I don't want to watch my baseball on Facebook. How about that?
well, I have mixed feelings about it. I understand why they're doing it is so that you can have a potential younger generation that watches it. I mean, and if you're anything like me, like I don't have TV. I just have internet. So I feel like there's a lot of people in that kind of state of mind that don't really get TV.
Fox Sports Go.
Yeah, but it's still but you need a television provider.
No, you don't.
It did when I checked.
No, you can subscribe to Fox Sports Go, or you can get MLB.TV.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Look at us. We're right here. We're giving plugs to these big organizations.
I mean, if you guys hear it, I mean, we're here too, but that's fine. But I get why they do it, and at least for me today, I was totally fine with it because I was at work and I was able to actually watch part of the game while I was at work, while I was on my lunch break and during one of my other breaks. So I was able to actually watch part of the game, which was really cool, and only because it was on Facebook. Otherwise, I would have had to just, check my updates. So I get why they're doing it, and I think there are advantages. When I saw it, there was 50-something thousand people online watching.
When we were eating pizza after going to Six Flags, this is right after you texted me, by the way. There was 50.6 thousand people watching it.
So, I mean, they got a pretty good amount of viewers that do it.
That's because it's the Cardinals. But you got to split that between the two companies.
Yeah,
I mean the two teams. I say companies. The two teams. So that's Cardinals and Brewers fans. I want to say
the first game that they had on Facebook. Because at one point there are 50,000 people watching it, but that's not how many people actually just get on and check.
Right.
And I think I want to say they said 2 or 3 million people at one point turned the game on, which is considerably higher than just your normal market.
It's an oddity.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I wonder what this is going to be like.
Yeah.
Now, the reviews of the first game that I saw and we didn't even talk about getting into the reviews of the first game. It was just atrocious.
I heard I didn't have any issues with it, which was hilarious because I didn't have a single problem. It wasn't lagging. It wasn't doing anything like that.
No.
The announcers were fine.
No, that's not what I had heard. That's not what I had read. The people did not like the announcers.
I didn't care. I didn't really listen to the announcers. I was trying to watch the game.
Yeah.
I don't care what you're saying. It's oh, he hit a ground ball to shortstop. Yes, I saw that. I tend to tune the announcers out because a lot of times they just talk over and
ramble on.
Yeah. So I try to tune them out. Yeah, I just tune them out anyway. So when you have a bout announcer
talking about Schwarber being a hitter.
Yeah. So when you have an announcer a bad announcer lineup, I don't care because I'm just there to watch the game. In the limited part that I saw today, I didn't miss much. It is cool that they'll feature some social media tweets and Facebook messages throughout the game.
Right.
That's kind of cool. But I like the idea, but I don't want it to become all the time. We've had 2 games so far. Let's keep it at 1 or 2 more, and that's it.
Why don't instead of it being an either or, why not a both and?
I have no idea why.
I get that there's a whole generation out there that the majority of your interaction is via your phone or your computer or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I've invested quite a bit of money into my sound system on my TV and the type of TV I watch, and I prefer watching it on a, this one isn't that big, but the one in my man cave is a 40-inch flat screen TV with surround sound and high def over my iPhone SE screen, which is 5 inches.
Yeah.
So anyway, that being said,
what I was
originally getting at was I checked my phone, and it was Cardinals lead the Brewers 2-1. I was like, oh, super cool, because I was scrolling down. It's there was a home run and some other things and whatnot. And it's Lions comes into the game for Gant.
Yeah, 1 pitch, 1 home run.
Yeah, then my alarm goes off again, and it's Cardinals tied 2-2 because Yelich homers off of that. And then my next alert was, I forget who they said. It was Tui Valala.
Yeah,
Tui Valala comes in to substitution for Tyler Lyons, 0.0 innings pitched, one pitch.
One.
Like, they went out of their way to make it a point that it was just one pitch. And I'm officially off of the Matheny bandwagon.
Yeah.
I'm not going to defend him anymore. You've said this to me. Okay, so we should have taken 2 of 3. We're good enough to take 2 of 3 because we've shown that we can play with the Brewers. Because really, to be honest,
we had played 500 ball against them before this game.
Their offense has been a buzzsaw.
Yeah,
and they came into the St. Louis series and with us, and our pitching actually shut them down.
Yeah, our pitching.
If you consider
does.
in the last 2 games we gave up 4 runs against them.
Yeah,
that's not bad. But our bats aren't working.
No.
Now, here's the deal.
They haven't all year, so
right.
What's to stop them now?
Here's the deal. All right. Can Ozuna hit?
Yeah.
Is Ozuna hitting?
Technically.
Okay.
Like
is Ozuna what Ozuna was in Miami? How about that?
Last season, no. The year before, pretty close.
All right. So here's the next question: can Dexter Fowler hit? We're not sure about that. Has he hit in the past though?
Like twice.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think he's at 172.
172 right now.
So he's at 172.
Ozuna's hitting 260 with a 305 on base, but his slugging is 337.
Yeah,
so he's not getting a lot of extra base hits.
260 with a lot of singles.
Yeah, which I mean, singles are great, but when the rest of your team doesn't know how to manufacture runs either, you're just left on base.
As a numbers guy, you would look at the numbers and say these guys have a track record that shows that they can play. So it's not the personnel. Okay, you know, the pitching's phenomenal.
Okay. The starting pitching's phenomenal.
Starting pitching is when I say the pitching, the starting pitching's phenomenal.
Technically, the bullpen hasn't been terrible.
No, they haven't been, and actually, Bud Norris has been really good.
Yeah.
Jordan Hicks has been really good.
Yeah.
Greg Holland, not so
much.
No. Brett Cecil.
Before his last outing, he was pitching fine.
And what happened with Tyler Lyons? Because he was a solid.
He was
reliever.
good last season, but now his slider is not sliding.
Yeah.
And his fastball is fine.
So, I'm just at some point what I've watched, and maybe you guys disagree with me, maybe you do agree with me. Comment in the section, comment below, because it seems to me that what we're watching is the slow decline of a team, even though they've got good players.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not just this year. It was last year.
You had a lot of injuries this year that don't help, but the guys that are coming in have been fine. It's the guys that you're supposed to be like the staple guys on your team that aren't doing it.
All right, so we had an injury. We've had injuries. So who's injured in the outfield?
Fam's been injured.
But who's injured right now?
Fowler just got off the DL.
Right, Fowler played today.
Yeah.
Which did him,
thank goodness.
That did him some good because he actually went 3 for 4 today.
Yeah, he tripled his hits this year.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Here's the deal. So your top producers in the outfield are not your money men. If you put Bader's stats to Ozuna's stats, who's hitting better?
Right now, Bader.
Okay, if you put O'Neill's stats to Fowler's stats, who's hitting better?
O'Neill.
And if you put Fam's stats against all of them, who's hitting best?
Good question.
Fam. I'll answer that one for you.
Oh, well, his last couple weeks have been pretty bad.
Yeah.
His last, I think, before today, his last 24 at bats, it was 2 for 24 with 13 strikeouts. It was sheesh.
But here's the deal.
He's had a rough week.
You have the personnel. Jose Martinez is a 300 hitter.
He's also a 950 defender, but it's fine.
Okay, yeah, that's a different story. Again, how do you help? I mean, if his bat's that great, how do you help him not give up runs? Because in the Pittsburgh series, there were 3-4 runs you could hang.
How do you fix
him.
that? You trade him to an American League team where he DHs. That's how you help him do it.
Right.
How you help the Cardinals is by hoping that he can start picking these balls.
I've told you my theory, right?
What?
And you guys watch this. Watch this. He's too tall.
Oh, yeah, he's 6'7".
Yeah, he's 6'7".
He's a big old boy.
All right. And the balls that get by him are the ones that are on the ground near his feet. He cannot get down to get the ball. It's too far to travel.
It's so long.
I mean, even though he's got that much gravity, he needs to start bending at the knees. Like,
He's
okay,
bending at his back.
yes, he is definitely bending at his back. He's not bending his knees. Which, if we've noticed that, who else should have noticed that?
It's like,
I'll give you a hint.
Guys,
I'll give you a hint. Cardinals coaching staff.
It's like, guys, I write articles in my free time, and I work at a shed company. Like, how am I more intuitive at handling Martinez at first base? Like, do you think he should just start doing squats so he learns how to bend his freaking knees?
Well, you know what? Do you remember when Albert Pujols played first base?
Yeah.
Do you remember, like, my problem with him was he got too low because his stance looked like he couldn't move laterally.
Yeah.
He was almost a crab.
If you could mix the two of them together,
yeah,
you have a great hitter who knows how to play first base.
Which was
Where's Matt Adams at? I mean this in the nicest way possible. Where is Matt Adams?
So and then
killing it.
This is my other thing too. This is my other thing. Everybody out there dogging on Matt Carpenter as a defender. Matt Carpenter is a good first baseman.
Better than Martinez.
Is not. I'm not saying he's a great or an elite. He is a good first baseman.
He looks really awkward, but he makes the plays way more often.
Yeah. Well, Jose Martinez looks really awkward, and then he doesn't make the play.
Yeah.
And the one ball that got by him, he gave up on. Do you remember that? It was down the first baseline, and it got by him, and it only went like 10 feet behind him. And he just kind of was like, and he was mad at himself instead of staying after the play and going and getting the ball. And so I forget who it was. I think it was O'Neill in right field. It was either O'Neill or Bader had to come all the way in from right field to pick up the ball. Well, by that time, the guy's at third base.
Pretty much.
It's like, go get the ball, and maybe you can stop him.
Yeah.
I disagree, and I do disagree with the obstruction call that they made on him, too. But so the Brewers series, we've shown that we can hit them.
Yeah.
We know that we can because we hung 6 on them.
Funny enough, we hit better against their bullpen, which is the better part of their pitching staff. But whatever.
I don't know what that is. But here's the deal. At the end of the day, something has to change because this team is about as flat as a 2-day-old soda that's had the cap left off.
Whoa.
Okay? There's nothing about this team. I don't see energy. I don't see inspiration. I don't see any of that. All I see is, all right, another day. I mean, like, losing in the late innings has to work on you. And even if they got into a fight, at least it's some sort of emotion.
Yeah. See, whenever they were down, I don't remember who they were playing. But Pham hits the home run, and they're doing the conga line in the dugout. I saw so much stuff on Facebook going, oh, you guys don't deserve to do the conga line in the dugout. I'm like, at least they're trying to have fun for crying out loud. Like, what if they just, like, went back to the dugout and sat, like, all solemn, like, this sucks. Like, at least they're trying to do something for crying out loud. The only way that they're going to get out of this funk is by, like, showing some sort of positivity. If you act like you've lost, you've lost.
Look, and we experienced this last night.
Woo.
All right, we experienced this last night. Now, we lost by 1 run, but we had no business being in the game that we played last night. This is our softball team, but we played angry.
Mm-hmm.
Our team played angry. If you play with some sort of emotion, it's going to be better than playing with no emotion.
Yep.
Now, 5 of us played angry. The rest of our guys are just like out there to have a good time, and God love them. I love having them out there having a good time.
Yeah, but the ones of us that were playing angry, we had reasons to be angry.
But and that's neither here nor there, and we're not even going to go there.
And it was very nice.
So here's the deal.
Teach you to ground one to me at third base and tell you what.
I wish that I would see more life. I want to see more conga line, or I want to see some anger, some yelling, something.
Yeah, do something.
Show me some life, guys. We're dying out here.
Yeah, but like to go back very quickly to your point about if Dexter Fowler can hit. Okay, so like whenever we signed Dexter Fowler, all right, so he was about 7th on my list in outfielders that were potentially available via free agency or trade that I would have gone for, but yet let's go for Dexter Fowler. Whoop-de-frickin' do.
Well,
before this season, before the season with the Cubs, he had 2 seasons in which he hit above 275. Once in Colorado, which I mean, I think that speaks for itself. Mm-hmm. He was with Colorado.
A lot of people can rake in Colorado.
He hit 276 for Houston, and then his last season with the Cubs, he hit 276. He's a career 260 hitter.
I would take that.
What
Oh, I would take that right
But
now.
is that worth 5 years and $80 million?
Oh, I don't think it's worth that
No.
unless he brings something else to the table.
At
You know,
one point, he did. He could run.
yeah,
And he
he's
was
not running so
above,
well right
and
now.
he was a decent defender, but now he is not.
But tell me you wouldn't take 260 right now out of him.
Oh, out of him, I'd take 240.
Okay, so that being said, all right. So I think that there has got to either be a shakeup in the coaching staff, or the coaching staff needs to change what they're doing. There's too many swings and misses. There's too many first pitch taking. Of course, in Bader's at bat here, and he ended up striking out. I think it was the 8th inning.
Yeah.
Martinez led off with a walk. Bader swung at the first pitch, and that first pitch was a strike. He might have missed it, but he didn't give him a, like, okay.
He swung.
He swung at it, right? He swung at it, swung at the next pitch, and the third pitch he tipped, and the catcher caught it.
Yeah.
But they did the classic walk the ladder on him, and if you don't know what that means you throw one in there that's a strike, and the next one's a little bit higher, and then the next one's up and out of the zone, and you get him to chase a fastball high. It was 3 straight four-seam fastballs, and he chased them, which a rookie's going to do that.
Yeah.
You know, you can even get your good hitters to do that if you work hard enough.
But I mean,
at it.
Bader's still hitting 273.
Right.
With a 354
Right.
on base.
You know why?
That's what I like.
You know why?
He knows how to.
He's swinging.
Yeah.
He swings
Shocker.
he swings at strikes and lays off the balls.
But you want to talk about some resurgence going on. So everyone, well, Fowler's still going through it, but Matt Carpenter, since May 13th, this is excluding today's game because I didn't feel like doing more math. But before today's game, since May 13th, I think it was May 13th. He played in 13 games, and in those 13 games, he had a 403 batting average.
He's back.
That's what
That's
I
the mark
like.
we all know and love.
Yeah.
And
so
you know what
in the
he's
month
doing?
of April,
He's hitting doubles.
in the month of April, he hit like 157 or 152 or something like that. And for the month of May, he's hit 298.
Nice.
Better.
Say that batting average again.
It was like 152 to 298.
No. What he hit in April.
This month.
Yeah.
Oh, in April, it was
No,
like
no.
150.
No. This month then.
Oh, 298. Yeah.
Right?
That's what we
Am
needed.
I right?
That's what
All
we
right.
needed.
Hey guys, guess what? I got a soundboard.
And so do I.
Yeah. So
We're
we're trying
waiting.
not to be extra with these soundboards, but we just want to add in sound effects and stuff like that
Yeah,
because I
it's
feel like it
fun.
makes it more fun.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
fun.
We're doing this for you guys, but we're also doing it for us because this is actually fun to do.
Yeah.
So the Matt Carpenter resurgence, he's still walking like a champ.
Yep. Still doing good,
You know, he's making contact. He's hitting doubles. Leads the Cardinals in doubles this year.
which doesn't really shock me that much.
Like, that's what he do.
Yeah.
That's what he does. He's a doubles machine. And good Lord, wouldn't it be awesome if Ozuna could hit some doubles? I don't need some
Yeah,
home
that'd be
runs from you.
fantastic.
Just, man, but put a good swing on it.
Yeah.
Go out there and crack it.
Yeah, it's just get on base, man.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
So, and then has anybody seen Lions slider?
No.
It's gone.
Yeah. He
It's
gone.
He gone. All right. So, Aaron, I think you had a new section you wanted to enter.
Yeah. So
Not section, a new segment. you
yeah, I'm
wanted
gonna
to
start bringing this up more often. So I'm trying to get a bit more active on Twitter, on the on my page as well as the podcast page, and this is the new segment that I want. We might workshop the title, but it's dumbest tweet I've seen. Oh,
Yeah, we
I'm
need to
shouting
work
you
on
out, man.
Yeah, we
At
need to work on the
Redneck Redbirds.
read the tweet.
It just says Martinez, Reyes, Waka, Flaherty, Weaver. And then right underneath it, here's where it gets to the stupid. Move Michaelis to the pen. And here's what's worse. He tries to defend it by
Right.
saying, 1, he's done it before and would be lights out with spot start and long relief capabilities. 2, it's best for the development of our starting rotation and its future to commit to the young guns as starters. Okay, number 1. Yes, he was in the bullpen before. I have a feeling it was not his choice to be in the bullpen before, and it was years ago before he, figured his stuff out. Clearly now he is a starting pitcher,
Well, here's the thing. He probably would be lights out.
but he's your best starter.
Right. So like that same logic, you could be like, well, they should move Verlander to the pen.
That's really dumb.
It's like he's been absolutely lights out. Lights out. Aaron, for $500, how many losses does Michaelis have this year?
0.
0 losses. That is
Yeah.
correct.
Yes.
So why would you put your starting pitcher with that? What's his ERA?
Like 2.6.
Okay, so he is like, I know you've been talking about Waka as your Cy Young candidate.
Which is hilarious because it's starting to get a lot of traction, y'all.
Yeah,
It's not as dumb as some of you thought it would be.
it's not. But is Michaelis not a Cy Young candidate?
Oh no, he's ahead of Waka. But,
Right.
but
So the bet is, the
It's
question
still
is
there.
which one, if any, is going to hang on to this the whole season?
oh goodness. I'm gonna go with Michaelis, and here's the main reason why. They both have 10 starts.
Mm-hmm.
But through those 10 starts, Michaelis has averaged an extra inning per start.
Well, here's the other thing, too.
He's getting deeper into ball games.
I almost feel like when Michaelis starts, you have a pretty good idea what you're going to get. You're going to get a quality start, and you're going to get at least 6 innings out of him.
Okay, so this is a new stat, or it's not really that new, but it's ERA plus. Basically, 100 is an average pitcher, and then anything above that, it's like a % better than average. So I've got Michaelis and I've got Waka pulled up. So I'm going to go with Waka first. Waka this year so far is a 134. So he's 34% above average.
Right.
Michaelis is a 149. So he's 49% above average.
Okay.
You got 2 quality guys right now.
Right.
You got both guys right now have a pretty good ERA. Michaelis is a 2.58. Waka is a 2.88. So you got both guys under 3, which is awesome, by the way. And then their fielding independent, which basically shows how well the defense has backed them up, are both pretty comparable compared to what their actual ERA is. Michaelis is a 3.16, so if the defense played about as average as a defense could play, that would be his ERA, which is still solid. And then Waka sits at a 3.4, which again, solid.
Right.
So I'm fine with both of those guys.
Right.
With where they're at. You got 2 pretty good starters going for you right now.
Uh-huh.
Flaherty's been good too. Weaver's been, yeah.
Can I tweak his tweet a little bit?
Sure.
Because it's absolutely insane and asinine to take your best starter out of your rotation, put him in the bullpen for somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. You want to develop them young starting pitching, but hear me out. What if you put Weaver in the bullpen?
You'd probably have more success with him.
So check this out. He's in he's in high pressure situations or he's not. I don't know however you want to use him. I think he gets a more regular chance to get in there without getting overexposed to all the hitters that he faces, because that second, third time through the rotation or through the lineup is costing him.
Yeah, there's been at least a couple starts that through 4 or 5 innings he's been fine, and then he gets rocked.
Right. So you protect him, you allow him to learn and work his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So if what do you do? Well, when Martinez comes back, I think you put Weaver in the bullpen and you forget you have either Brett Cecil or Tyler Lyons.
I've got a theory that there's going to be a couple guys getting DFA'd soon.
DFA'd.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. Greg Holland is injured right now.
No, he's not.
Okay, you know what I mean.
He's
injured.
on the DL. He's not.
You
injured.
can't see me, but I'm doing the air quotes. He's injured.
Yeah, he's
Do you know what?
Right,
you know what an
right
injured
hip
pitcher.
impingement.
You know what an injured
No.
pitcher usually needs? A rehab assignment.
Yep.
And he should get a couple rehab assignments. Go down AAA Memphis.
You know what's funny though? Whenever they brought him up and they were like, "Oh, he didn't get a real spring training." Yeah, but he still had rehab assignments and he pitched well in those rehab assignments. I get the idea of sending Greg Holland down so he can get some work in, but at the same time, he's got to get out major league hitters. If we send him down to Memphis and he's lights out, that's fantastic. But what if you bring him back and he sucks again?
Well, at
I
that point,
understand both
at that
sides
point,
of the
then
argument.
You know.
Yeah,
So I think the DL stint and the rehab assignment gives him a chance.
If he does really well on his rehab, comes back and then still struggles,
because what he's having trouble doing
probably
is
cutting the losses.
His MO is he's got swing and miss stuff, but he's got to get you to go for the out of the zone stuff.
And people aren't doing that.
No, they're not going for the out of the zone stuff, so he has to come to them, and he hasn't figured out how to pitch in the strike zone. So the worst thing he could do if he goes down to Memphis is to try to work on, or just go out there and throw because those hitters, they're good. Okay, so I heard
Yeah.
I forget who it was. What they said basically was the difference between a AAA hitter and a major league hitter is consistency.
Pretty much.
And you can kind of see that in some of our young guys that are up. They're
Yeah.
not quite as consistent. Same thing with pitching.
Yeah.
It's consistency. So some of our younger guys, Flaherty, Weaver, they're not as consistent.
Yeah. I mean, people are
That's
so
not a
high.
knock on them.
People
They're
are
just
so
young.
high on the Flaherty train. Like, you guys remember last season when they brought him up for like 6 or 7 starts and he sucked like really bad.
Really bad.
Like,
Well,
Weaver's going through that right now, but like, I have a feeling that throughout this part of the year, Flaherty's gonna have some struggles, and then Weaver's gonna get it together. Like, it's gonna happen.
So what Holland needs to do is reinvent himself as a pitcher and show that he can get you out within the zone stuff.
I mean,
all right, he's
just
not going to learn that up.
Be
in the
like
majors.
Michaelis, man.
Just
throw strikes.
Hashtag the strike zone.
Yeah.
Because like whenever I was younger, a hashtag actually meant pound. So if you think of it that way, it's
pound the strike zone.
Pound the strike
zone.
zone.
Come on, guys, it's not that hard.
Yeah. So I'm gonna assign you to tweet that out now.
Yeah.
That's a new hashtag.
It should be.
It should be hashtag pound.
The strike.
Hashtag the strike zone.
Yeah. People are gonna be like, what?
What?
And it's like, you get it.
Yeah. Pound the strike zone. Old school. Yeah.
Yeah, you get it. Yeah. Nice.
Bring it back.
Yeah.
All right. So the deal is I think that if he goes down there, what he needs to do is reinvent himself as a pitcher as far as being able to get people out with pitches in the strike zone. If he does that, he can come back in the majors. He can have a lot of success.
Yeah.
I still stand by the poll that I said where I think that he's going to be, what was it, under 4 or under 3? Under 4, I think it was, right?
Yeah.
I still stand by that.
Yeah, that's something else we're
He's
going to bring
figure
up.
that out.
So, so I posted on our Twitter, and I tagged a bunch of people in it, and thankfully it got shared around enough. And so we had 2 polls come out on our Twitter, and the first one was, what will Greg Holland's ERA be at the end of the year? And we both said lower than a 4.0 ERA.
Yeah.
And then so there were 2 options, either lower than or higher than a 4.0. And it was pretty close. The majority said higher than a 4.0 with 56%, and then it was 44% lower than a 4.0.
Okay, so like, and I don't know how many voted, but
93
people voted.
Yep.
56% to 44% is
it's not like ridiculously out of the zone.
Well,
and we did have one guy comment.
If that were
were
an election, that'd be a landslide.
Yeah. But we did have one guy comment, and he said around 4.2. So, I mean,
4.2.
So there are probably people sitting around that area where it's like, it's higher than 4, but not like I don't think there's a lot of people expecting him to stay at like 6.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you think that there's more people thinking like that guy, probably around 4.2, which would technically be higher?
4.
Or do you think there's more of the people drinking that hot Holland haterade?
Like, oh, he's going to stay at like 6.5.
Yeah.
No, because if it stays at 6.5, he's gonna get designated for assignment.
You get DFA'd or
he's not gonna be on the team. So at the end of the year, it doesn't matter.
Right. At some point though, they need to either not bring him in high leverage situations.
Yeah, it either see. And here's the thing, the other when we won 6-1 against the Brewers, that would have been a great time to bring him in. Maybe
instead of Hicks
for 2 innings, maybe.
Right.
Because you could have used Hicks today.
Then you could use Hicks today instead of Ty. And maybe you win this game 2-1.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you can guess.
But ifs and buts were candies and nuts, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So.
But then our other poll, because everyone wants to get on the Manny Machado train, which I posted an article on Art City because we had a guy say, this is why you should not go after Manny Machado. And so me, being who I am as a person, wanted to cause conflict. And so about 30 minutes later, I wrote an article saying why you should go after Manny Machado, and I actually posted our poll on there as well. And Nick got 78 votes. And I said,
these are good votes.
Yeah. I mean, I just tagged the right people, and they retweet it, man.
I don't know why. Go on.
It works out. Well, there's a couple other Cardinal podcasts that I'll tag in it, and they'll usually share it. And one of them has like 4,000 followers. Wow. So usually I get a lot of people on that one. But I went on there and said, would you trade Michael Wacha, Austin Gomber, and Oscar Mercado for Manny Machado? And I said yes. And my reasoning was that it pulls up a spot for Reyes and Flaherty to stay in the rotation by trading Wacha. Now, this was just a few days ago, and I'm kind of like torn between whether or not I would keep making this trade, just because Wacha has continually showed this season that he can pitch well. It's 8 starts in a row where he's allowed 2 earned runs or less.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's not really a fluke at this point. I wish he would get a little deeper into games because he's still not doing that. Like, even the other night, he only gave up like 3 hits, but he went through 6 and a third or 6 and 2/3. Like, get through 7 with that.
I mean, that's like that stat you looked up about Michaelis. You know, Michaelis is number 1, and was it walks?
Strike percentage?
Strike percentage, and
yes.
And the next closest
is Weaver, who is 66th in the major leagues. And then Waka is 80-something, like mid-80s. And there's only 93 people on this list who are qualified.
So the reason he's not going deep into games is because he's wasting pitches on pitches that are not going to get people out.
Yeah. I mean, he's still not giving up runs, which is fantastic. But at the same time, when you can't get deep into games, like
you're not being efficient. If you're going 2-2, 3-2 consistently on a consistent basis, your pitch count's going to run up. You're not going to go deep into games. That's just the way it is. Yeah. That's the problem with strikeout pitchers too. They were worried about that with Martinez. Whenever he was a rook, he'd come up in here and he'd have 7-8 Ks, but good grief, his pitch count would be through the roof by the 5th inning.
But like, I just want to like show you why it helps to throw strikes. So the league leaders in strike percentage, I'll do the top 10 because these are all, for the most part, pretty good. Number 1 is Michaelis at 69%. Number 2 is Dylan Bundy of Baltimore with a 68.4. Out of this list, I think he's kind of the odd man out because here, who else is on the list? You got Max Scherzer.
Yep.
You got Bartolo Colon.
Yep.
You've got Garrett Cole.
Yeah.
Luis Severino.
I don't know that guy.
He pitches for the Yankees. He's their ace. He's a stud.
Oh, he's their ace?
Oh, he's a stud.
Okay.
Justin Verlander. Corey Kluber.
Yeah.
Jacob deGrom.
Yes.
Carlos Carrasco. For crying out loud.
Right.
You've got, out of these 10, you've got 7 or 8 surefire aces on most staffs. So, like, throw strikes.
Yep. Hashtag the strike zone.
My goodness. Oh, you know who's number 11? Marco Gonzalez. How's his year going? He's a star. Hey, man, I'm happy for Marco Gonzalez. Yeah. He's on a team, and he's a starter now, and he's not having to wait for his turn. He can finally pitch. He's 5-3 with a 3.6 ERA. Good for you, Marco Gonzalez.
Good for you.
I am so happy for you.
I'm happy for Marco Gonzalez, too. Should we give him a round of applause?
We should.
All right, let me see if I can find it. Here we go. Well done, Marco Gonzalez.
Yes. I am very happy for Marco Gonzalez.
We don't hate.
He's got 60 innings through 11 starts. I mean, that's not bad.
We don't hate players that leave the team on good terms. We hate the players that leave the team and then diss the players, a.k.a. Jason Hayward.
Yeah. How's he doing?
Who cares? Yeah, who cares? So, all right.
Not great.
Yeah, not good.
Oh. Look at that 222 batting average.
222.
Nice.
Wow.
Still higher than Fowler, but not by much. My goodness.
That's terrible.
His best statistical season for the Cardinals.
I don't know what I just hit. I'm just going to mute that until it's done playing.
His best statistical year was with the Cardinals. Oh. You had 6 years before that where he was an average player, and people were like, let's give him a ton of money. Like, no, he's had one good offensive season. Why would you do that?
Yeah, we're still talking about Hayward, right?
Yeah, why would you do this? He hit 293 for the Cardinals. His previous best was 277 in his rookie year. And he had a 269, a 254, a 271, a 227.
But, Aaron, he's a 5-tool player, Aaron.
No, he's a good defender.
Yeah,
who supposedly can hit. I don't believe it.
Yeah, and I've seen some defensive laps on him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's good.
He's still better than Fowler in right field, but that's not saying a whole lot.
Fowler's a natural center fielder.
He's not.
Right field.
I don't care if you're a natural center fielder. He's not quick enough to be a natural center fielder anymore. You're not 25 anymore.
I don't know what the deal is with him. He's tall. He's got long legs. So sometimes these long-legged people, like, they look like they're just lumbering along and they're covering a lot of ground. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's the case with him or not. And I haven't really paid much attention to how fast he is, actually. Yeah. I prefer not to look at a bad car accident, and that's what his season is so far. So,
except for today. Today was nice.
Yeah. And here's to hoping that he comes out of it. I don't hate Dexter Fowler. I hate the way Dexter Fowler is playing.
Yeah. Well, Dexter Fowler's nice. He's active on Twitter. Him and his wife are hilarious. So and
he looks like he would be a genuinely fun guy to hang around.
Yeah,
with. I even saw him in this is the first year he came here. Him and Wayno did the car ride karaoke.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So they did that together. Not as good. Not as good.
Yeah.
Neither one of those guys can sing. But, it's like
Wainwright tries.
Yeah.
He can play guitar. It's fine.
Yeah, I really like Wayno, and I don't think he's gone, but I mean, I think we're seeing the sunset of his career.
Yeah.
And maybe he'll come back from this
And see,
injury or this.
if the Cardinals are just like super out of it, let him keep pitching. But if the Cardinals are like legit in the race, you put him in the bullpen.
Here's my thoughts. Here's my thoughts. All right. This is my thoughts. This is my overly optimistic. I'm going to put my overly optimistic Cardinal hat on, and I'm going to make a prediction. All right.
Is it a bold prediction?
It is a bold prediction.
Well, so far, mine aren't looking that bad.
All right. Yeah. They aren't bold enough.
Yeah.
I'm about to get real bold right here. All right.
Hey, the
you guys
Walker
ready?
one was pretty bold.
You guys ready? Here we go. Wayno's going to come back from the DL having figured out what was wrong with his elbow and what was causing the pain, keeping his velocity down and stuff like that. And he's going to be lights out, and he's going to lead the Cardinals into the postseason. All right? Him, Michaelis, and Waka's going to lead the Cardinals into the postseason.
What about Martinez?
I don't know.
That'd be a sweet number 4, wouldn't it?
Oh, my gosh, yeah. So you get those 4 going, all right? Postseason run. Cardinals will go to the NLDS. Not the NLDS, the NLCS. If they figure out what's wrong with his elbow. My bold prediction. And for those of you that are laughing at me right now, that's why it's called a bold prediction. Oh, you want me to play this?
Oh, no. I got one better.
Oh, you got one better.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Well, this will be basically, if this happens, the only thing I can really do is,
bruh. Yeah.
Like, bruh. Like,
Right.
I can't, I don't even know how I'd react to that if that legit happened.
So that is my bold prediction for the year. And I can't say that I'm saying it with anything other than my heart and that little gut, that little knot in your gut, just below your rib cage and right above your stomach. That area, if you guys know what I'm talking about, that area, you just get that feeling there.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, in terms of my bold predictions, Michaelis winning 15 may have been a little on the less bold side. Winning 20 would have been like, I don't know about that, but like, let's be real. He should be like 9.
I got this plaque hanging on the wall of my man cave, and if anybody's ever seen my man cave, it's pretty epic. It's all St. Louis sports memorabilia, but it's got a plaque of Babe Ruth, and what it says is never let the fear of striking out keep you from swinging for the fences. All right. I ain't afraid of striking out, and I could very well strike out on this, but I'm gonna take a cut at this one. I'm gonna call it. That's what I'm calling.
Mm-hmm.
But I am extremely off the Matheny bandwagon.
Yeah. I am pretty happy with my Walker receiving Cy Young votes. Like he's had a good year. If he keeps it up, if he gets 180 innings, he might get votes. I didn't say he was gonna win. I thought he was gonna receive votes. Kyle Loesch received votes.
Right. So
he got 7th place back in 2012.
Waka's gonna get Cy Young votes. Michaelis is gonna win it.
I'm this close to writing an article about it. I'm not even close. I've been contemplating it this whole week going, yeah, screw it. Cardinals bold predictions. Michaelis wins the Cy Young. But he won't because he doesn't have the strikeout numbers, and that's what people want. Like, oh, man, his ability to get batters out is ridiculous.
If you write that article, you have to put my bold prediction in there.
Oh, I'll throw that in there for sure. I'll be like, oh, by the way, if you listen to our podcast.
It doesn't get any bolder than this prediction.
Yeah, no, bolder than that would be Wainwright comes back, wins Cy Young.
Right.
Throws 7 no-hitters in a row.
Cardinals win the World Series on a sweep.
What? What? Wainwright threw 7 no-hitters. What is going on? 7 no-hit innings.
It's highly unlikely.
Not in a row, though.
It's highly unlikely, but it wouldn't be unheard of.
No, not unheard of for sure.
All right. So, anyway, we're looking up, what do we got here coming up?
We got a 4-game series against the Pirates.
Okay. All right.
The Pirates, guys.
Yeah, I think the Cardinals will do well in this series.
I hope so. We're facing Trevor Williams again, and we've seen him once before now, so hopefully they can hit him.
We know who you are.
Now we know. Now we're going to score 2 runs.
Yeah. Get ready. Buckle up. What is a successful series? Because 500 ball is not going to cut it from here on out.
No.
Milwaukee's playing way
500 against the Pirates, I would say, is okay. You got 3 games against the Marlins coming up after that, and you better sweep that series.
You got to make some
hay
on that
My goodness. I hope you face Alcantara and you just wreck it.
So here's the deal. That'll probably be like it'll be after the Marlins series when we're next back if we do next Wednesday.
I think it'll be during that series.
During that series. All right, so here's the deal. We will be okay with a split, or I would be okay with a split with the Pirates if we sweep the Marlins. But if we're only going to take 2 or 3 from the Marlins, we need to take 3 or 4 from the Pirates.
Yeah.
Now, is this Pirates at home or Pirates there?
It's a home series against the Pirates and Miami.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys got to make some hay at home.
Yeah.
All right,
You've got in the first game you've got Trevor Williams versus Jack Flaherty.
Right.
It's exactly the same as the last outing between them. It
Right.
was Williams against Flaherty. And we did not win.
So
I
I
don't think
noticed too today as I was looking at it, as we stand right now, the Brewers are the second best team in baseball.
Sigh.
The best team, I believe, is Boston with 39 wins.
That makes sense.
And here's the deal: ain't
Yeah.
nobody in their
39 and
yeah,
17.
nobody in their right mind believes that the Brewers are going to be this hot this long. They're 8-2 in their last 10. They're going to cool off. They're going to come back to earth. But the question is can the Cardinals heat up?
Yeah, which other team in the Central is going to be the one that kind of flips it? Because you got Milwaukee at 36 and 21, and then between the Cubs, the Cardinals, and the Pirates, it's 2.5 games.
Yeah, it's a toss-up.
So it's pretty close between them. So you
Pirates
think
are-
to get the Pirates out of it, you've got to take at least 3.
Right. And the Pirates are a young team. You know,
Yeah.
they're in the thick of a race.
Yeah,
they still see them as having they see themselves as having a shot. They've got a puncher's chance.
They had such a hot start, but they've started to kind of cool down a bit.
Right.
They're at 28 and 26.
Right. So the bats have to wake up. So we need Fowler, we need Ozuna, and we need Carpenter to continue doing what
We
he's
need
doing.
Pedro Serrano is what we need.
Serrano wants a bat.
For bats. Keep bats warm. That's what we need.
Oh, that's definitely awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need that. We need Serrano. We don't need him hitting a dove in the right field and then running out there, though.
No, that's Major League 2. We don't talk about Major League 2.
Major League 2. That's Willie Mays. That's not Willie Mays Hayes. That's Omar Epps Willie Mays Hayes.
Yeah, like I have a weird soft spot for Major League 2. There are some parts in that movie that I find actually hilarious. But Major League 1, man.
Parkman doing his little shimmy makes the women here in Cleveland swoon.
Yeah.
He gets traded to Chicago. Parkman doing his little shimmy makes the women here in Cleveland puke.
Yeah.
Listen, we all know who the real
I love the Asian guy. It's like
Oh,
not
yeah.
those giants.
Tanaka. Yeah. Was it Moshihiro Tanaka or something like that? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Oh, man. But here's the thing. And then they cut to him. He's like, Yosa! And then he runs through the wall and knocks himself out.
You have no marbles. You have no marbles.
All right, this is your homework assignment for y'all. You need to binge watch Major League.
Apparently, there's a third Major League.
No, that's Back to the Minors.
Yeah.
We don't talk about Back to the Minors.
Yeah, it's like, no. Major League 2 is Oscar-worthy compared.
That's Major League 3 has the catcher. What was the catcher's name?
Baker.
Yeah, Rube Baker is kind of like the big name from that. Like,
Yeah, that's about it. No, I think Serrano's in it too, and the Asian dude's in it.
oh, is he?
I think so. But it's like nothing works out well. But
Right.
no, you've got the Scott Bakula from Quantum Leap.
Yeah, right.
Which, if
So-
you're gonna watch a show,
right. So
Quantum Leap's fine.
if you don't have Randy Quaid in the outfield and Bob Uecker on the mic, it's just not a Major League movie.
oh yeah, for sure. Like,
So that I'll give Milwaukee props for Bob Uecker.
yeah, I'll take Bob Uecker.
Bob Uecker is hilarious.
I think Bob Uecker actually was in the third one.
Was he?
I don't remember, but like
We're
like,
getting.
I thought Back to the Minors could be funny because I'm like, oh, they made another Major League movie. That'd be great. And then I watched Back to the Minors,
Right.
and yeah, Major League 2 should have been up for some Oscar buzz from that one.
We're getting kind of sidetracked here, and we're running kind of close to the end of the show.
Word.
So here's the thing. So for the Pirates series, we got Williams and Flaherty. Talion, is it Talion or Talon?
Tyon, I think.
Tyon.
Jameson, Talion. It might be Talion. I don't remember.
Taillon. Could be Talion or Talon.
Talon,
Whatever. All right. Cool versus Weaver, and Kingham versus Waka. All right. So
I like 2 of those games.
I think Flaherty's going to beat Williams.
I think Flaherty will beat Williams, but I don't think our offense is going to
Is
beat
Williams a
anything
lefty?
else. That's a good question. I don't know.
Lefties, like not that Cardinal hitting has been Superman, but lefty hitters have always been kryptonite for Cardinal hitting.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna call Michaelis is gonna win.
No, he's a righty.
Okay, Flaherty, Michaelis, and Waka are gonna get their wins.
You got Trevor Williams. I think one of them is a lefty, but which one is it?
It's either gonna be Cool or Talion.
No.
Talon.
No, they're all righties.
They're all righties. Yeah. So that's my predictions. Flaherty outduels Williams in a close game with Bud Norris getting the save.
Woo.
Michaelis is going to.
I think he's gonna he'll bounce back from his
bad start.
Yeah, his bad start where he still went 6 innings.
Yeah,
6 innings, y'all.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
In a very very quick sidetrack. The fact that they gave him 4 earned runs is stupid because I turned the game on. I was like, oh, Michaelis is pitching. I'm gonna turn the game on, and I pulled up a live stream somewhere, for the game, and I don't remember who was up to bat, but they hit a drive to center, and just from off the bat, I'm like, oh, that's a catchable ball. And then it cuts to Pham, and you clearly see him make the worst misstep towards this baseball, and it goes down, and they rule it as a triple. No.
Well, he didn't touch it, Aaron.
I don't care. It's like it was just the worst misplay that I've seen, and it gives Michaelis 4 earned runs, where if you just catch the ball, the inning's over, man.
Yep, it changes the whole the even though they came back and won that game.
Yes, which I'm very very happy that they were able to do that.
So even though Michaelis didn't get the win, the Cardinals win when Michaelis pitches.
Yeah, I mean they've screwed him over out of wins before. I mean, why not do it again this time? He should be like 8-0. It's fine.
So I'm gonna call Flaherty's gonna get the win. Michaelis is gonna get the win. Flaherty's game's gonna be close. Michaelis's game will not.
If there's a game for Weaver to bounce back with, though, it's against Cool, because Cool puts on a lot of base runners.
Yeah, but I don't think that they're gonna win 4 games.
I would love if they did.
I would love it too, because like a 4-game winning streak would be really cool.
Yeah, especially if you sweep a division opponent.
Right. But I don't see that happening.
Let's just sweep the homestand.
Yeah, sweep the homestand.
Let's just win 7 in a row.
Sweep the leg.
Yeah.
Cobra Kai.
Don't be Anthony Rizzo. Don't sweep the leg.
Yeah, Anthony Rizzo is Cobra Kai. And not like the new YouTube Red. We're talking the old school Karate Kid. He is the bad guy.
Very true.
That would be a great meme. So if any of you guys are meme artists out there, go ahead and meme Anthony Rizzo and what's his name? I can't think of his name now. The manager, Madden.
Madden. Yeah.
Yeah. Madden's face over the Cobra Kai guys telling him to sweep the leg, and Rizzo going like, "Yes, sensei."
I feel like that's definitely out there somewhere.
That has to be out there, because if it's not out there, it's just a travesty.
Yeah, it's like it has to be out there, man.
And we need some meme magic out there. So if anybody can do that, tweet it out to us. It'd be awesome. We'll put it out there because
I wish I was better with Photoshop, because now I want to so bad.
The Cobra Kais. All right,
give me 20 minutes.
This is a thing. We need this to happen. Anthony Rizzo sweep the leg with Maddox Madden and the Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai dojo.
I gotta
sweep
find
the leg. I'm mad that we didn't think about this when we did the turn 2 segment.
Here we are at the end, and we're like, if anyone's still listening, they'll hear this magic.
Right. All right, so that's how great things happen in this podcast, and I think with that, we're just going to go ahead and wrap it up. Aaron, if you want to go ahead and spin that music, I'll fade it in, and unless you have anything to add?
I think I'm good. Just looking forward to the series against the Pirates.
I am too. Here's hoping
if they lose this series.
You ready to check out on the season?
No, but I'm
getting closer.
I'll pull up the ticket page so I can buy my plane ticket out of here.
Yeah,
like the page is open.
Yeah, start looking for your tickets out of Cardinal Nation.
Yeah, pretty much.
How much is an outgoing flight? What are the U-Haul prices? Are they exorbitantly high?
Speaking of plane tickets, this is completely off topic, and I know we're about to wrap up, but I heard on ESPN, Brad Thompson was talking about how him and his family went on vacation to Disney, and they flew out of Mid-America.
Really?
Yeah, and apparently he said on there, yeah, we just flew out of Mid-America. I live like right by there. I'm like, you what?
Yeah.
That's Mascoutah, man.
No, I don't think he lives in Mascoutah.
I don't know.
I thought
I
he
can't
lived,
imagine he would.
I think he lives in Edwardsville, but I could be wrong.
That wouldn't surprise me. It's not the worst area, but I
No.
was like, hey, Brad Thompson, you're obviously close. You want to come hang out on the podcast?
Yeah. So
We won't bring up your noodle arm, but maybe a couple times.
No, I wouldn't
I'm
bring it up
just
at all,
kidding.
dude. I would love to have BT on the broadcast.
I'd probably start crying. I'd
Yeah.
be like,
This is the best moment. This is so happy. This is the best moment of my life. The cone's not working, is it?
yeah. It's like, you okay?
Get Smart reference if you guys don't get it.
Yeah.
The cone of silence. All right, go ahead and spin that music up. We'll catch you next week. Usual Suspects Nation. And this is Brad signing off. And
This is Aaron signing off.
later.
He needs some milk.
You done messed up, A.A. Ron.